Hey there. Let's talk for a moment. Just you and me. Have you ever found yourself caught in the middle of someone else's story? Maybe a friend tells you about something someone else did. Maybe it's dramatic. Maybe it's heartbreaking. Maybe it makes your blood boil for them. But you've only heard one side. Just one. And that's where I want to pause with you today. Because there's something I live by. A little phrase that shaped the way I see the world. And I want to share it with you. There are always three sides to every story. Side A, Side B, and the truth. Let that sink in for a second. Side A, Side B, and then the truth. Not their truth. Not your truth. Not what someone feels is true, but the actual, full, raw truth. The kind that sits quietly in the middle, untouched by bias, unbent by emotion. But here's the thing. We rarely see that third side. Because every time someone tells us a story, even if it's just a vent, or a complaint, or a cry for justice, they're telling it from the seat they were sitting in. They're telling it through the lens they looked through. And that lens, it's always fogged up with feelings, with memory, ego, fear, pride, even pain. And that's not a bad thing, just human. We're all the main characters of our own lives. So when something happens, we naturally center ourselves in the narrative. That's why we don't tell stories like neutral reporters. We tell them like witnesses, and sometimes like victims or heroes. But that's exactly why we can't just absorb what we hear as fact. Because no one can ever speak impartially about something they were emotionally involved in. No one. Not you. Not me. Not your best friend. Not even the most honest person you know. So when someone comes to you with a story, especially a story about someone else, here's my advice to you from a place of love and experience. Listen, but don't absorb. Be present, but stay neutral. Be kind, but not blind. Because the truth, that quiet third side of the story, it doesn't yell. It doesn't rush into the room with emotion and drama. It waits. It waits for the smoke to clear. And here's where it gets interesting. Let's say person A tells you something about person B, and it sounds bad, maybe even awful. Your first instinct might be to say, wow, how could person B do that? Or that's unbelievable, what a terrible thing. But take a breath. Ask yourself, have I heard person B's side? Have I given them a chance to explain, to defend, to reveal what might have been left out? Because it's not about choosing sides. It's about understanding that there's more than one angle to every truth. And usually, when you finally hear both perspectives, you realize neither side was completely right, and neither was completely wrong. That's life, messy, complicated, human. And if you want to build a strong, centered, and fair mind, if you want to be someone who isn't easily manipulated or misled, then this practice of mental neutrality is key. You don't need to take sides. You don't need to rush to judge. You can sit in the middle. You can pause. You can say, thanks for sharing that with me. I understand that's how you feel, but I'd like to hear the other side too, before I form an opinion. And if you can't hear the other side, maybe it's not your place to hold a judgment at all. Because how many relationships have been broken? How many bridges burned? How many wrong impressions formed? Just because someone believed a one-sided story. Too many. Sometimes person A isn't lying. They're just telling the truth as they felt it, which isn't the same as how it actually happened. Sometimes people exaggerate without realizing. They minimize their own role. They magnify the hurt. And again, that doesn't make them evil. It makes them human. We all filter reality through our emotions. But when you recognize that, when you really understand it, You give yourself a superpower. The power to be fair. The power to remain grounded. The power to think for yourself. In this world, being impartial is a rare and beautiful trait. It's easy to take someone's word and run with it. It's easy to gossip, to judge, to assume. But it takes wisdom, real inner strength, to pause and say, I don't know the full story yet. To hold space for both sides and the silence in between, because in that silence often lies the truth. Now, I want to leave you with a little exercise, a mindset check. Next time someone brings you a complaint about someone else, instead of reacting emotionally, try this. Ask yourself, what's this person not saying? What might the other side of this story sound like? How would I feel if someone heard this about me without asking for my version? That last one, that one's important. Because chances are you've been person B before. You've had someone tell a story about you that didn't feel fair, that didn't tell the full picture. That made you the villain when you were just misunderstood. And you wished someone, anyone, would have asked for your side. So now you get to be that person. You get to break the cycle of assumption. You get to be impartial, to give grace, to seek truth, even if it's messy. Because the world doesn't need more people who jump to conclusions. It needs more people who wait, who listen, who seek to understand. So next time, before you judge someone based on what someone else said about them, remember, there are always 3 sides to every story. Side A, side B, and the truth. And the truth doesn't scream. It whispers. It waits. And it's always worth listening for. Stay curious, stay kind, stay balanced, and keep building that strong mental foundation. Thanks for being here. I'll catch you in the next one. Hey everyone, Bold Dude here. Thanks so much for watching today's video. I truly hope that our little talk helped brighten your day, even just a bit. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so we can keep growing together. And if you're in the mood to slow down and relax, check out my channel where I share calming, peaceful music to help you unwind. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.